Hey guys and girls, my name is Snowy and I thought let me take you to a sort of behind the scene of Oakdale City, how I'm recording this and also how this city with a population of nearly 500,000 is actually doing right now on my PC. Now my PC is here to the right, as you can see. Specs will be listed in the description down below, and I record my gameplay using Bandicam. Now Bandicam puts like an FPS counter all the way here in the corner. As you can see, it's averaging now around 35, 30, 40, depends a little bit on where you are. Let's say if I go to this area and I will go close to the ground like that, then well, you have like a solid 50. Yeah, 50. I mean, yeah, it's not really heavy on the graphics card. I can just move around. I mean, that goes in principle pretty nice. I did notice that in one of the episodes before I had like a huge dam over here that generated energy. And water is definitely something that taxes your graphics card. That is definitely something, yeah, worth noting. So it might help if you go to settings, options, and if you go into graphics, you might set the water level in show advanced here. Let's see the water level, no, not level, the water quality. Let's see where I have that thing on. There's so many options here. Motion blur disabled, shadow quality high. That can also be medium. Terrain quality high. Water quality, yeah. Here, this setting, water quality settings low. Reason for that being is because water constantly has to be rendered because it's in motion. Okay, now with this knowledge, we resume the game, and we know that this game is having nearly 500,000 population, and it nearly entirely covers the entire map, because this is the entire map actually. I cannot zoom out any further, and this is yeah, I don't even know what those stripes are, but anyway. So we are going to do a Control-Alt-Delete to see okay, what is this thing doing with my computer? Now I have to put the phone down in order to press those buttons, so have a moment please guys. Just like that, Control-Alt-Delete, Task Manager. As you can see, the game is still running here in the background here, and as you can see here you can see what it's actually doing. So it is of course a very CPU intensive program. So if we click on performance, we see what is actually happening. Let's make this screen bigger. No, that's too big. It's not necessary. Now, as you can see, it utilizes my 12-core processor. In this case, the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X 12-core processor, really to the max. The graphics card, on the other hand, is taxed for, let's see, GPU, 3D, copy, video encode, decode, 3D, well, it's still doing its thing. Let me slide this slightly over so you can see what it is. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised to see this, that the graphics card is being taxed that way. But it does not use all the memory of the card. I mean, the card has 24 gigabytes of VRam. And before recording this specific video, I was under the impression that the graphics card does not do that much. But I think in this regard, you have to see the graphics card as, a sort of Bitcoin miner, if I'm not mistaken. Because Bitcoin miners also make use of graphic cards to do all these calculations, and yeah, maybe City Skylines is sort of doing the same. If you have a heavy card, and this is a yeah, a relative beefy card. I mean, it's not a 4090, but a 3090 Ti is still like a beefy card even in 2024. The CPU, 12 cores. Well, not everybody has 12 core. 8 cores you see most of the time. Some people have 16 cores. And recently we also saw like a video from Linus Tech Tips, who was actually he was trying this game out on a new AMD Threadripper processor, which is was 96, yeah, which has 96 cores. And actually very interesting, because the game developers at Colossal Order said, like, you can throw everything at this game and it will use it. So, but that video of Linus showed actually that the game is capped at 64 cores. Well, 64 cores, I think like, well, by the time we have that, I mean, I bought this PC I built it myself just last year. And before we have like a 64 core processor, I think we are in the year 2030. At least for consumers. I mean, for the professional market, of course, it's a whole other deal. But yeah, that sort of is it. Now, you might wonder, like, what's the deal with the disk saw over here? Because some people say, like, why do you have a D? And then you have a disk 5 C and P. Well, actually, disk 1 here, disk 1, 2 here, 3 and 4, they are all like 1 terabyte SSDs, SATA SSDs, and they actually run in RAID 0, which is kind of interesting, because if we get out of here, we let the game just run in the background like that. Also, this thing is still running. Okay, this PC. So as you can see here, I have a D drive that is then 4 terabytes, and those consist of 4 SATA drives, SSDs in RAID 0, and it does not contain any interesting stuff, just user stuff, but it's nice and bloody fast. C drive and E drive are PCI Express NVMe M.2 PCI Express 4.0 drives, Samsung 980 Pros if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a quick look here at the system device manager. Disk drives, well, here we see the whole shebang. So yeah, 2 of those 980 Pros. And the P drive is a relative small partition from the C drive, which is only 20 gigabytes for my Amiga emulation. Yeah, that's the whole thing. So yeah, then you have sort of an idea of what this is. And what also helps, of course, is having a little bit of memory. Still 106 gigabytes available. I also use a pretty large page file, which I am just looking at. Cannot really spot here. No, page file is like, let's see, that is found on under this PC properties. Let's see, advanced system settings, advanced change. Yeah, here I have it. I have 2 page files on both of those Samsung Pros of 32 gigabytes each. So that is a total page file of 64 gigabytes. Worked actually pretty nice when I still played City Skylines 1. Yeah, that's also a game that I kind of miss somehow, because City Skylines 2, yeah, how shall I say it? It's I don't know, I'm missing so many things, so many mods and stuff, and also with detailing. There's no move it mod, and I miss the intersection marking tool, and laying these roads is like a pain in the proverbial, crack, whatever. And yeah, but we have to do with it, and let's just hope that in the future that you know, that more mods will come out and that will make this game better, and even also that Colossal Order will do something about the you know, yeah, slowness of the game. Look at this train, it's going like very slow, it's nearly standing still. But anyway, yeah, those CPU cores are being used, so but yeah, but you don't notice in the frame rate. That's the nice thing, you know. It's like the simulation. If you look at the frame rate, oh, my phone slips out of my hands. Depends on where you are. You know, if you go into the city like that, all the way to ground level, yeah, you definitely can see still a solid 30, even 40 sometimes. I mean, look, we are just at ground level. Yeah, tap like that. You can even go through the city. Yeah. It depends also in which part of the city you are. And let me see. This is one of the. Yeah, this part and this part, they are the most crowded ones. So if I really dive into the most crowded area, then it's roughly around here. As you can see, a lot of people walking around here, and still the frame rate does not look. It's not bad. 30, 40. Ah. Look at that. Just going through the city. It's interesting. It's just interesting. So sometimes the game stutters a little bit, but for the rest, yeah, I cannot really complain about the frame rate. So, but yeah, I can also not get closer to the ground. That's a pity, yeah, unless I am selecting an individual. But look at these buildings. You know, look at that. That's interesting about this game. If you look at it from above, it looks all so small until you take a step back and you look up. Especially to all the high-rise buildings. Oh, then the sun. But yeah, that's a little bit behind of the scene of the Oakdale city. So I planned this video also in between, so you can have a watch. And yeah, feel free to comment it, and I will hear about it. Okay guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon again in the next episode. Okay guys, see you, bye bye.